Could there be a resource more scarce than diamonds? The answer is yes, and its existence is essential to life on Earth. Fresh, potable water can be considered scarcer than diamonds. While the scarcity of diamonds has led to its extremely high monetary value, scarce water is still being wasted and taken for granted. However, water perception is changing as its availability becomes more limited in areas such as the Salton Sea. The Salton Sea, caused by an engineering flaw that allowed diverted water from the Colorado River to flow into the Salton Sink, has become the largest inland body of water in California. This ecosystem supports more than 400 species of birds and other wildlife that find refuge in the Salton Sea every year. In earlier days, the Salton Sea was a top tourist destination, filled with resorts, fishing, and many other aquatic activities. Today, it suffers from nutrient pollution, fish die-offs, and poor air quality, all attributed to a lack of water. Because the Salton Sea is located in a desert, very little precipitation contributes to the water that enters the sea. Today, its water input depends mainly on agricultural runoff. Agricultural runoff that enters the Salton Sea carries salts, toxic pesticides, and heavy metals such as arsenic. These contaminants increase the risk of public health crises to local communities. Children in the Salton Sea region suffer from the highest rates of asthma-related emergency room visits in California. The dust storms also contribute to the decline of the Salton Sea's ecological value because of the toxic chemicals they bring. The Salton Sea is a valuable location along the Pacific Flyway that is a critical link for migratory birds. But because of the decline of fish species, the Salton Sea's increasingly toxic water, and the increase in dust storms, migratory birds are having a difficult time surviving. With these impacts increasingly weighing on the ecosystem and burdening surrounding communities affected by the health of the sea, the primary issue has been finding a substantial quantity and acceptable quality of water to prevent the Salton Sea from continued shrinkage. Projects currently in effect include the development of ponds that surround the shrinking sea to suppress dust and restore certain types of habitats. The ponds highlight the different types of water that once existed in the sea. These different types of water habitats include fresh, brackish, and salty water. One proposed solution is the binational canal that would supply large quantities of water to restore what has been lost. It would be transported from the Gulf of Mexico to the Salton Sea, where a desalination plant would process the ocean water and add it to the Salton Sea. This project is limited by its high costs, potential for habitat destruction, and the question of salt disposal after extraction. The restoration of the Salton Sea is imperative to maintaining the health of those in the surrounding communities and the health of wildlife in the area. An increase in native vegetation near the Salton Sea will prove to be beneficial because it reduces the amount of exposed playa, and it will reduce the health risks of those in the community by improving the overall air quality of the area. As the ponds reverse the negative health impacts that have affected wildlife and the surrounding communities, the Salton Sea should be sustained as a refuge for wildlife rather than a tourist attraction. The war over water in California continues to grow as the population throughout the state increases. The demand for more water stems from the need to supply water for agricultural uses and urban growth needs. These needs are put at a higher importance level than the needs of the Salton Sea. But as the issues surrounding decreased water supply to the Salton Sea become more prevalent, local projects that are being proposed and implemented help to mitigate these issues and temporarily sustain the sea. The Salton Sea will not be restored to what it once was before, but local projects are helping to support a healthier ecosystem for the wildlife. The air and water quality of the Salton Sea and surrounding areas also continues to improve because of these local projects. This increases the longevity of fish and bird species in the area. The Salton Sea also sits on a highly active geothermal area, and this allows for clean energy production that will provide stable energy sources for the surrounding communities and boost the local economy with jobs. Once the Salton Sea is restored, it will help provide a less toxic ecosystem for migratory birds, wildlife, and the residents of the Imperial Valley.